Hey team, welcome back to Dukes on Twitch. Back today with a blast from the past, Rainbow Depths. Rainbow Depths is a all-in Dark Depths deck that really only has Dark Depths as a win condition. We have BANT by Hexmage to remove the counters from Dark Depths. We have That's Been Staged to copy Dark Depths and create a version of it with 0 counters on it. We have some fast mana to get there in Lotus Petal and Elvish Spirit Guide. We have some ways to find these lands in Thespian Stage and Dark Depths through Crop Rotation and Sylvan Scrying, as well as some kind of one-of silver bullets like Wasteland, Bojuka Bog, Sejiri Steppe, and Karakas. We have Thoughtseize, Inquisition, and Duress as ways to protect the combo. And then we also have some other ways to protect the combo in Pit and Needle, most likely naming Wasteland or Karakas, Stifle to Stifle Wasteland or Karakas, and then Not of This World, which is kind of a free protection spell for Dark Depths, which is pretty sweet. This deck was popularized by Negator77, Tom, big fan of, and yeah, sadly hasn't played for a little bit, but you probably know him as, I believe, the highest trophy leader in a season at something like 60 or 70, and I believe with this deck, which is pretty crazy. So yeah, to Tom, a big shout out, a big shout out. And then to the board, it's pretty easy. We have our Sylvan Safekeeper, another way to protect the combo, and a really nice way to do it. Force of Vigor, an Assassin's Trophy, along with Collector Oof for the Artifact or Enchantment decks. Trophy there, mainly to also hit lands. This was, I believe, a copy of Assassin's... It was a copy of Abrupt Decay. But I do like that Assassin's Trophy hits lands, especially in this current meta of Doomsday. Trophy has won us a few games going after their mana, so we'll see how that goes. 3 Leyline, 2 Surgical for the graveyard decks, and then 3 Flusterstorm for the blue decks, and also the combo decks, so we'll see how that goes. Hey Jacko, welcome. Let's just see how this goes. I'm pretty keen to see what the updated list does. The only thing I changed was moving the Karakas to the main deck as a bit of a hedge against the Ragavan decks. And also with Yavimaya, because Yavimaya with Dark Depths and Thespian Stage is enough mana to combo off on turn 3, which is really nice. So a 5th Urborg in a way is really nice. I just didn't want to cut the Urborg because I really like this consistency with this, because the kind of best plays we have is something like Urborg into Thoughtseize, and then Dark Depths, 2 black, Hexmage, and then hopefully have something like Not As Welled Up. Or in that time, have also used a Spirit Guide or Lotus Petal to play a Needle on Wasteland or Karakas, depending on what we're playing against. So this should be pretty fun. This is a sweet deck. Obviously, a lot of decks recently have gone towards having a backup plan. Green-White Maverick, or Green-White Depths, sorry, has kind of a Maverick plan where it has the Green Sun Zenith plan with another Reliquary. And then Green-Black Depths, which I've been playing a lot of, has Urza Saga as kind of a backup way to win. So we'll see how good this deck goes, because if you're going to go all in on the combo, you have to protect it, and that's what Rainbow Depths does really well. It doesn't have that plan B, so you're just going to make sure your plan A is tight, your plays are tight, you're patient, you're hitting the right things with things like Stifle. So this should be pretty fun. Oof, big weekend for me. Got a COVID test today, but thankfully looking pretty good. Just a little bit off yesterday, so I thought for a bit of peace of mind, probably good to get a test and see how it goes. But today feeling much better, which is nice. So hopefully that comes back negative and we can just have a nice week ahead. Have a lot of content going up on YouTube as well, which is really cool. I think I have like 14 leagues to put up. Trying to put it out with a few days between, not just all at once. So every 2 or 3 days I have a new piece coming up. Green-Black Depths, Green-White Depths, Green-White Depths, the Sprout list from the Legacy Challenge that took it out, Green-White Maverick, Punishing Maverick, BANT Maverick, Abzan Maverick, a lot of decks, which is cool, and a lot of pretty good ones. So Depths on Twitch. I like it, I like it. Very cool. All right, up against Potatoes on the play, and an interesting hand. A lot of mana, a little bit of permission in Thoughtseize, and then Hexmage can get there. This only takes, you know, a Crop Rotation or a Sylvan Scrying off the top to get there, but I don't think it's enough. I think if I was going to keep this, it had to have one piece of the combo, like Dark Depths or Thespian Stage. So I am going to mulligan this. This is pretty good. Pretty happy to keep this. Probably the Gemstone Mine that I'm bottoming here. The Mana Confluence can cast the Thoughtseize. And then there's a world where we draw into like Hex Mage and then have a Hex Mage up with Dark Depths the following turn. Or just get Thespian Stage Online a turn earlier. So happy to keep this and bottom the Gemstone. Alright. I'm gonna keep 7. Wall of Omens, okay. Interesting hand so far. Not too much that we care about. So I think here Brainstorm is just the big card that I want. Ending isn't really a concern here. Wall of Omens isn't a concern. The Prismatic Ending just means we want to hold back the Lotus Petal until we need it. Narset as well, just a little bit too slow. So I'm pretty happy with all of this and just taking the Brainstorm. Just going to take a quick snip. And of course, if you're playing in paper, if you're doing this, you should definitely write down your opponent's hand. And then just do things like tick off what you've taken and what's being played. So not going to play out the Petal here. They're not on a Yorion deck either, but they're playing Wall of Omens, which is interesting. Alright, Blooded Strand and pass. Urborg's nice. We're probably just playing Stage here and passing. Don't really need the Sylvan Scrying just yet. I could preemptively get Wasteland. Opponent last turn played Elves, so this obviously isn't Elves. I think it is just Stage Pass. The only reason I might want to play out Lotus Petal is if my opponent fetches for a basic, then untaps and plays Wasteland or tries to Wasteland us. We can then copy the basic to keep the Thespian Stage alive. But I'm going to keep it up because it means the next turn we can play Petal, play Depths, and we have 2 mana for the combo. There goes Volk. Sure. A little bit awkward here if we do play the Petal and Depths, because what they could do is untap, Tundra the Lotus Petal, make us float mana, and then if they have like another ability like Prismatic Ending, then they can Prismatic Ending the Dark Depths if we make it. So I kind of want to draw Crop Rotation here. It's just another way to play around it. That actually does it as well. That's actually quite nice. And I might actually see if I can bait out a Prismatic Ending on the Lotus Petal here. Because it also keeps them off white mana, which is pretty relevant here. So we know they have a Scalding Tarn in hand. So I assume what we see here is Prismatic Ending potentially on the Lotus Petal. Interesting. They're keeping up Vista. I'm definitely still going for it here. I'm going to use the Lotus Petal as well because we know about Prismatic Ending. And they just have nothing. It's a really nice way to kind of pressure our opponent into having something. And it looks like there's some sort of Jeskai build. Main deck Narset, Wall of Omens is interesting. So, see how we want to board. Thankfully, Tom, the legend that he is, has an old sideboarding guide, which makes it really easy. And this is perfect if you're coming into a big tournament, just to have a guide ready, because it takes out some of the mental capacity you need to think about every single matchup. I'm probably looking at some sort of Miracles list, so I don't mind siding against Miracles. So Surgical, Flusterstorm, Safekeeper, and then taking out some of the fast mana because we want to be a little bit patient here. So what we're doing is bringing in 2 Surgicals, most likely for Wasteland, Flusterstorm, for Source Plushes, Flusterstorm for Source Plushes, and of course Safekeeper. And then I think we're just trimming. So we're going out 1 Petal, 3 Elvish Spirit Guides. There is a world where I like having the Spirit Guides because of the prismatic endings on Petals, but because we want black mana for Inquisitions and such on turn 1, I'm going to actually stick with the list and go with the Spirits over the Lotus Petals. 2 Needles, 1 Stifle. That looks pretty good. Still a lot of ways to protect the combo, which is nice. Bit of interaction. Pretty happy with this. I do want the extra Safekeeper, I believe. 1 Petal, 3, 2, 1. 1 Petal, 3, 2, 1. Interesting. We're still on 61. What did I do? Ah, just 2 Fluster. There we go. Nice. Alright, what do we got? We have 2 pieces of protection with Thoughtseize. We have a Wasteland for interaction. We have Crop Rotation to find 1 piece of the combo. Huh. Definitely an interesting hand. That for a slower take on the deck, I don't mind. We have a draw step, Thoughtseize, draw step. So we get 2 draw steps to draw into either piece of the combo or Hexmage, which is 12 cards, which is pretty nice. So I don't mind keeping this. Having the double Knot of this world is really nice. And we are playing a slower sort of version of the deck this game, so I'm pretty happy with being a bit slower. If they like quickly shuffle here, I would be tempted to Wasteland the Tundra. They chose to not shuffle though, so I kind of want to keep the Wasteland for a Caracas or a Wasteland. Confluence. I'm going to play Urborg here instead of a Confluence because if we draw into Hexmage, then we can potentially crop away the Mana Confluence next turn for Dark Depths and then play Hexmage. So I'd rather have like 1 piece of the combo open in a way. Alright. Looks like my opponent is a lot more set up here for dealing with the 2020. So they, interestingly enough, kept a pretty light hand. So there is a world here where we could untap like they kept with the Ponder, so I assume they kept lands on top. I don't think we get to untap, Wasteland them, and then they just have the plains. But it is pretty tempting. Teferi is quite annoying, especially if not as well, so I think I'm just going to take the Teferi here. But I could see a world where we take the Preordain. See what they do. From the time they're taking it's probably 2 cards on the bottom. Okay. That's fine for us. They play the plains. I'm pretty happy here if we don't draw a piece of the combo. Bog. Yeah, I'm pretty happy here to waste on the Tundra. Trying to take as much time as possible to yeah, wow, they interestingly enough kept with the Ponder but then bottomed twice with the Preordain, but didn't put a land in there. And there's the Hexmage. So now we we're kind of in a pretty good position, to be fair. So the Preordain's been used. Hey Deep Hizzle, welcome. There is a world where we just go for it here. And I think I'm pretty happy too. Like, they have 6 cards. So the other cards, they have to have a blue card here. Okay. Force. Pitch snap. Sure. More than fine. Alright. They get a blue source. Caracas. I'm probably pretty happy here to play the Bog and just bog them off some cards. Also don't want to play out the Hex Mage into Sword Plowshares and Prismatic Ending without having a target. Easiest go for it all the time. Yeah. Alright. Pretty happy for them to be missing land drops here. Crop. Nice. So here I'm pretty happy to float a black. Crop away Bog. Interesting. They could potentially be brainstorming here. I don't think my opponent will be playing Flusterstorm, but it's a potential. The worst case here is Crop resolves, we get Dark Depths, we play Hex Mage, they try to Swords it, we make the 20/20, and then they have Teferi. Teferi is the one card that I can't play around with this Not of this World. So I can only hope here that they go for Prismatic Ending. Because Caracas doesn't do it either. Interesting. They're going to Surgical Dark Depths. That's fine. That's actually... So now we actually just know that they have Prismatic Ending and 2 cards. They could potentially even see our hand and just say we can't beat this. They're going to Ponder first. Okay. So now they have to find removal spell, and Force with blue card. Or potentially a Flyer, but I don't see one occurring with Plains up. Yeah, pretty tough spot. And really nice. I mean, we kind of pivoted a little bit in that game too to a slower kind of build, but the double Not of this World is just so strong against these blue decks that you can afford to take time. And you know, Thoughtseize there taking out the Teferi was nice. Definitely interesting to see that they only hit 2 lands. Like, we could have potentially gone with taking Preordain there and just made them kind of hit, because they did bottom twice. So would have been a lot of dead draws for a little bit, and maybe the 20/20 would have got off before they even cast the Teferi. So nice to know about as well, because in this case, we couldn't play around Teferi. Teferi would resolve and then bounce this, and then we wouldn't be able to cast this. So pretty happy all in all with how that game went out. And just nice to be playing a bit more turbo. You know, green white and green black aren't as fast, and it just can get the Source Splashes and Prismatic. Yeah, tough. We were just saying that I think your only out there was Teferi. Teferi would have been really strong to be able to turn off the Not of this World and bounce the 20/20. but having the double Not of This World is just really tough for you to deal with, especially knowing we knew about one prismatic ending. And like you not hitting your extra land drops as well was pretty tough. Alright, this is a pretty clear mulligan. No mana. Not much more to say. I will say if this was a fetch land, I probably still wouldn't keep it. I really want to be hitting my land drops at least for a few. Hey, thanks Potatoes. I really like your username. I did have a little cackle when I saw that. Yeah, this is actually pretty nice. Like turn 1 we have Urborg, turn 2 Dark Depths with Not of This World. So I'm going to bottom a stage here. Misty Pass. Oh, you're from Brisbane? Very cool. That's awesome. That's very, very cool. If you're if you have Legacy paper, I'm still just gonna go with Urborg here because then we can turn 2 Dark Depths. There is a world where I should lead on Dark Depths, because if the Urborg gets taken care of here by a Wasteland, then we're kind of off mana for a while. Yeah, Potatoes, are you playing Legacy on Wednesdays at Upper Macrovat? Library. Sure. Not much we can do there. Misty Savannah Sylvan. This could potentially be green-white. Mana. Okay. I'm probably pretty happy to play around Wasteland here more than something else. Especially knowing that we have Dark Depths for potentially a Caracas. Or a Source to Plowshares. Oh, Chris from up at Sunny Coast? Nice. I know a few of the Sunny Coast guys. I know Scott used to come down with Chris, and I always forget his name, but he used to play lands, and I believe he's now a lawyer with a flying license, pilot's license, which is cool. They find Caracas. Jake, that's it. Surely they have a swords. Oh, they're playing blue. Okay. Ponder. Okay, looking for probably a Source to Plowshares here. They chose to not shuffle. Tough. Prismatic ending. Alright. Restart. Okay. I don't mind just stage pass here. I could play Wasteland Pass, and then we get to hopefully draw into Dark Depths, and then play Hexmage with Wasteland up for Caracas. I could also play the stage and try to bait out some sort of removal spell on the stage. Hero's pretty good. Mana Compliments does represent crop rotation, which is nice. But obviously pretty tough against the BANT deck. Prismatic Ending, Source Plowshares, Caracas, Uro to gain life. I could assume Ice Fang Quaddle. And especially Sylvan Library on board. Against Rainbow, it doesn't matter if you're on 20 life or 2 life. It's pretty much the same thing, so you can be very aggressive. Oof, Loam. Yeah, we just don't have an out to Loam. I think boarding for this is gonna be very similar. So I like the Surgicals, I like the Flusters, and I like the Safekeepers. Trophy's definitely interesting. I don't mind Trophy here, especially seeing the... We saw Needle. Trophy's nice seeing the Caracas. Could also just be something like this. I don't mind the extra Safekeeper. Yeah. I'm going to assume this is a BANT deck just on Uro and Life in the Loam for Graveyard Hate, so or using the Graveyard, so I don't need the ley lines. The Surgicals are more than fine. This is a interesting hand because we can Gemstone Mine, Duress, the following turn Sylvan Scrying for Dark Depths, for Urborg, and then the following turn Hexmage, Urborg, Dark Depths. It's a little bit slow though without that fast mana because you have to go Gemstone Mine into Thespian Stage, into Dark Depths, or play Hexmage and have Crop Rotation open. But I think it's fine. It's a little bit slower as well, which I think is okay against this sort of deck. But only keeps 6. Now this is a tough one. Dress Down's just so good here and does replace itself. And it also plays around Not of This World, which is pretty tough. So I'm going to take the Dress Down. I could take the Brainstorm, but this is just really annoying, to say the least. Okay. That's pretty nice. I'm going to start with Thespian Stage here, and then next turn we can play Sylvan Scrying. Fast mana would be really nice here. Another Dark Depths. A little bit dead, but not too bad. Force Pitch Force. Sure. Mana pretty interesting here as well because the Tundra means they can't cast the Witherbloom command until turn 3. It still represents the combo with Eldritch Spirit Guide, which is nice. Loamback Wasteland. It's pretty good. Oof. See if they go to Wasteland this in response. They do, which is really nice, because now we get to play Wasteland for turn. And now we know they have 3 cards. One is Witherbloom. I can't really play around Wasteland again, but like any sort of... I think I'll put a stop at the end of their draw. To see if they loam or not. Hey Seaman, thanks for the follow. They didn't. So they potentially have to gain life here. Okay. They milled double Strix, which is pretty great for us. Remove that stop. Nice. Okay. That's pretty awesome. Seeing the loam did hurt. But luckily the 2020, that was just good enough. Do I want to change anything? I'm probably pretty happy with where we are, to be fair. Like, everything kind of has its place, which is nice. Should have cracked the fetch and gone out on their own terms. I couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. I still like the fast mana. I think it's really solid. Yeah, I'm pretty happy just to send this back and see how it performs. Okay, I like this. Thoughtseize into Sylvan Safekeeper with Dark Depths, and we can just sack the Dark Depths to Safekeeper. Or play the Hexmage out and then try to go off. And having double Hexmage, double Dark Depths is pretty nice. That's fine. Okay. There is a world where I don't want to lose the Gemstone Mine before I kind of need it. Because, like, turn 1, turn 2, turn 3. So I think we'll just go with Confluence and take the damage. Okay, so they didn't keep... They kept a 1-lander. Actually, I find this quite hilarious. I'm going to take a little screenshot. For later. Okay. So, what do we care about here? We don't really care about the extra swords and the prismatics because we have the Safekeeper. I think if anything, it's the Sylvan Library to allow them to dig. Force Negation does nothing here. So I think it is just Sylvan Library. Because, you know, there's just too much removal. The Force Negation we don't care about. And they're far away from getting to Uro. So I think Library here is a pretty nice take. They hit a land, which is pretty nice for them. Scrying. Okay. Definitely interesting as well. I'm going to be using this Gemstone Mine for the Safekeeper most likely anyway. So I don't mind going Gemstone Mine. Scrying. And potentially just get Wasteland here and try to Wasteland them off this Caracas. Because we have all the colors we need, I'm pretty okay with that. And if they don't draw a land here, then they're really behind. potentially drew Ponder. Brainstorm, okay. Well, I guess we can kind of negate this now. I want to get to a stage where I'm comfortable going wide with Safekeeper just to protect it. Duress is quite nice. Let's start with that. Swords, Swords, Ponder, Strix, Uro. So this turn we can... I guess we can kind of just keep... If we take a Swords, we play... It's actually pretty interesting. The 2-mana Confluences are going to cast the Hex Mage. So there's a world here where we play Dark Depths. Gemstone to 1, play Safekeeper. We can then keep Safekeeper alive through 1 Swords to Plowshares. And then next turn, we have Hexmage into Dark Depths. But it's pretty interesting because if we take the Ponder, then they obviously have less ways to try to get out of the Safekeeper lock, in a way, if you want to call it a lock. I also don't mind take Ponder, hit Caracas, or take Sword to Caracas with Wasteland. That takes him off 2. The only issue is if they found a Loam on top. Loam would be quite strong. Loam gets back the Caracas. I think we take a Swords here. And then if they have Loam, they have Loam. Definitely a lot of lines. Definitely a lot of lines people could take there. We have a lot of time as well, so I don't have to play too much to time. 4 cards. I believe it's these 4. This is actually a really good, like, what's the play? So, Gemstone Mine, Safekeeper, Depths Pass. Gemstones on 1 counter, they sword the Hexmage potentially. We just sack the Gemstone to give protection. They untap. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with that. There's also wait a full turn. I think wait a full turn is actually correct. Yeah. They fetched, so they wanted nothing from the Brainstorm. They didn't draw they didn't get a land drop either. So hit Caracas. They probably float white here. They float nothing. Okay. Well, now I'm pretty happy to play Safekeeper out this turn. And then potentially even Hexmage. I think I'm okay with that. This allows the next turn to hold up like a crop rotation or like a Sajiri, like a something else. The Bayou is quite rough here because they have to ponder using their white source. So the ponder has to hit pretty well. It has to hit probably a fetch land. And they chose to shuffle because they obviously didn't hit something. They hit a Sanctuary, which is really awkward because now they're stuck on that one Tundra here. A nice thing about this board as well is that Hexmage has First Strike, so we get to get in for 2 damage, which takes him down to 16, which means that Uro off the top doesn't put him above 20 again. I am going to play out second Hexmage as well, because this gives us sort of Wasteland proof, because if Hexmage targets Dark Depths, they have to try to Wasteland it in response, and having the second Hexmage, we can override that by putting a Hexmage back on the stack on top of the Wasteland, which is quite nice. We have some really live draws as well. Crop Rotation, Sajiri Step. What I don't want to see, I guess Plague Engineer isn't the worst, but it is a pretty clean answer to Safekeeper. The mana's also coming together now, so we've got to get going on this Dark Depths plan. Yeah, Sammy, that's a good one. I think in response to whatever this spell is, they're going to try to hit this. Interesting. We are going to save it. And then I'm pretty happy to go for depths here. They get back the Caracas, I believe, but they've already played a spell. Confluence. I think we can attack with all 3 here, if I'm correct. They have to block this, the stage, so... yeah. I think everything makes sense, because they have to block here. And then Swords doesn't do anything anyway. Now the question is, do I play Dark Depths here, or do I play another land? So Swords to Plowshares most likely tries to take care of a Lage here, and then Caracas takes care of another. I think dropping Gemstone is fine, yeah. The only reason I might want to drop the Dark Depths here is if my opponent has Surgical Extraction, I want to have one on the board. But at the same time, if I can just win with this one, there's no point of having that Dark Depths spare anyway. I think worst case is 3 pieces of interaction. Swords to Plowshares that we know about, Caracas, and then 1 more, probably Prismatic Ending. So I think I will go with Depths, because at worst it keeps this Depths alive, and at best it is another 20/20. So they probably have to use their white mana here, and try to sword something. They would need, that is correct. So they actually can't because of their mana. They need to have like Strix and then another like thing, but we have extra lands to come down as well, which is quite nice. Uro is going to be okay. I guess that is a way to put in extra lands. I don't think I respond here either to giving the Marit Lage hexproof. That would be great if they had both Prismatic Ending and Caracas, because we could just turn both of those off and only have the Caracas on our turn. But if it's like Source Plowshares and Caracas, it's a little bit odd. I lose both then, so I think we just let this go. Maybe they drew into Dress Down. Dress Down would be really strong. I guess we see. Actually, Dress Down isn't the worst. Dress Down is fine, because Dress Down just makes it a 20/20 still. Or does it? I'm wondering if, like, is there any way here to play around the Marit Lage losing Shroud, which the Caracas then does? I assume this is why my opponent's doing it, so I don't believe there's any reason to give it Shroud. I don't think there's a way here, yeah, to give it out. But I do have the backup Hex Mage, which is quite nice. Unless the ability on the stack resolves now? I'm not too sure. Because Shroud wasn't on the creature when Dressed Down. Yeah, it does work like this. Okay. Well, that's perfect. This is fine. Yeah. Okay. Nice. Yes. Very cool. But definitely a very interesting stack. Yeah, that's a tough one for my opponent. Oof. Won't be a second. Timestamp knowledge here would have made our opponent in this game. Interesting. I'm not too sure yet. What is the way around it? I think you do it in your turn and see how we respond. And then go for Caracas. I assume you go dress down first. No, because then the Shroud still... no, yeah, maybe it's dressed... Just nice to get up. He had to let the Shroud resolve and then cast dress down with only Caracas on the stack. Ah, okay. Nice. The issue then is, what if I still respond to the dress down with another give Shroud? I guess no, I can't target it because it already has Shroud. There we go. Okay. It's nice to talk it out as well, because then you just kind of understand what happened. Tough. BANT matchup is interesting. Opponent kept a pretty interesting hand as well. I was a big fan of that. With dress down, we had no more Safekeeper trigger. Interesting, interesting. Well, the dress down first, then Safekeeper loses all abilities. Yeah. I think if they cast the dress down, I would then go for Shroud. And then they would go for Caracas, and then would go for Shroud again. So dress down first wouldn't work. Unless we didn't respond to it. Yeah, we also had the option of just like getting in for 3 and then getting in with another 2020 the following turn, which is pretty nice. I mean, Sylvan Safekeeper there is so strong, and especially in this sort of matchup, it's exactly what you want. And to be fair, like we just drew lands, but that's exactly what we needed. We just needed more lands to make sure we could go wide, and yeah, get there. Eureka. You got it. You got it. Okay. Hey, Builder Burn, welcome. We got on the play. Who's currently 0-3. Rough. I don't mind this hand. It's turn 1 Inquisition of Mana Confluence, turn 2 Sylvan Library for Urborg. And then turn 3 Dark Depths, Hexmage, Hold Up, Stifle. Hey Lord, thanks for the follow. Let me know where you're from. If you play Legacy, what you play in Legacy, I'd love to know. Also to the other follower that I apologize, I can't say your name, but I like it. Oh, this is gonna be Doomsday. Okay. So we have to be faster than Doomsday, which is pretty tough here. I think it's just gonna be the ritual. It's what I really care about here. But having the Stifle against Doomsday is really nice. So I think next turn we might just take the turn to hold up Stifle again. And then try to go for Sylvan Scrying the following turn if we draw a mana that actually taps. Ponder's fine. Currently in a paper monthly league in my hometown community. Very cool. That's awesome. And this is one of your 2 choices? That's even better. Oh, double lotus. But nothing. Confluence. Okay, that's actually quite nice. Next turn we can Scrying. Brainstorm. In Paris, we have 20 people tournament. Legacy every Tuesday. Not during pandemic is 30-40. Very nice. That's really cool to hear. We have probably a 15 to 20 player every Wednesday kind of setup, which is really nice. I'm actually just going to 6 here. Opponent does have 3 cards in hand. Yeah, so I'm going to F6 until they cast their first spell and then F5. Just to make it look like we don't have anything. Which is probably a very rookie kind of move, but... the store doesn't allow proxies, but we have a lot of lender decks. Thanks to MTG Mate, who is a sponsor of this channel. I've definitely acquired a few decks, so I have, yeah, some good decks to lend out, which is really nice. They're giving us a turn. Oh my gosh. I would love Lotus Petal or Elvish Spirit Guide here. Ah, so close. Because then I could Sylvan Scrying for Wasteland and also hold up Stifle. I'm not too sure how likely they are to keep... I assume they might see this and think of Endurance, potentially. They might wait. I'm going to play the stage because then I can play the Stifle around Daze here, or I can Sylvan Scrying next turn for Wasteland and Wasteland the Underground Sea. Hey Noah, too kind. But I am going to remove you, unfortunately. Sorry, mate. Didn't want to show the Thespian stage, but maybe I have to play around double days. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, they don't have days, so actually potentially don't need to play this their land there. Because it does show what we're on. LED is good for us, though. I believe. I think the LED lines are them with 0 cards in hand at the end. No, that's incorrect. Yeah, they'll definitely be able to do this. Definitely an interesting spot. One card left, 2 cards in hand. Petal. 1 card left. Oracle. No cards left. Sorry, opponent. Nice. Very cool. Always nice to take game 1 against Doomsday. Doomsday. I like the Flusters. And I like the Trophy. And I like the Oof. Don't need the Not of This Worlds. Stifles are great. Hand Disruption's great. Don't need the Needles. I think I'm pretty happy with that. Just go all out. Caracas could come out, to be fair. There is a world where Surgical is okay with Hand Disruption. But I like to just be faster. I might even take out a Scrying. Yeah, I think Surgical isn't great in this matchup. It's just better than other cards in the deck. It might even be a case of step scrying. On a scale of Force Spike to Mana Tithe, how good did that feel? I'm gonna say Judge's Familiar. That's where it really was. But yeah, hand disruption here would be really nice. Like Lotus Petal as well. I'm still pretty happy to keep this. We have interaction with Surgical. We have a piece of the combo with mana, so I kind of just hope they go turn 1 Thoughtseize or turn 1 Ponder. But they probably know that the race is on and they have to just go kind of a hand that's like Petal or Dark Depths into Doomsday straight away. This is fine. Can they brainstorm for it? No. Oh my gosh. I think I will Inquisition here. Just gonna have a quick one. Ah, it should. Shuffle's gonna be nice as well. I think it is just Inquisition here. Fail. I think just to turn off Brainstorm untap, I'm just going to Surgical Lotus Petal here. And that also means they don't draw into the Doomsday. Shade 100%. That's more than fine. Street Wraith. They really want it. Okay. Do we try to Surgical the Street Wraiths here? I think we just go after the Street Wraiths. They have land left. Okay. Did they bring in anything? They brought in. They obviously have Thoughtseize, Collective Brutality. Okay, that's interesting. All right. Street Wraith resolves. Hit Petals. They drew a land. That's fine. Would have left the Petals. There's just a world where they go for a line where they try to use the Petals for blue mana, and one of my strategies post-board against Doomsday is go after their mana after they've piled. So like Wasteland on Underground Sea or Assassin's Trophy. Petal. Force Thassa's Oracle. Is there any reason to duress here? Is there anything that they could have that they didn't cast? I reckon they just have another land. Okay. Well, now we get to look if the coast is clear. Force, sure. And now we just have the combo up, which is nice. I'm not going to say there's not a world here where they could just top deck Doomsday and go off, but it would be really tough. They need to have more cards in hand, I believe. some sort of way to draw cards. So yeah, really nice to get that. Nice. Okay. Deck feels really good. I mean, the deck hasn't been updated other than Yavimaya, Cradle of Growth, which we haven't really seen anyway. But just the general strategy of, if you're going to play a Dark Depths deck that goes all in on the combo, instead of having that plan B in the deck, use that space to just protect the combo at all costs. So things like Not of This World, your fast mana, your hand disruption. Really nice. Magic like 2015, pretty much a few new little tools, but overall, yeah, the deck's been awesome. Have to say, it's just been, yeah, it's a pleasure to play as well. It's so nice, and you can obviously tell from how Tom built it that it's quite smooth, especially for a combo deck that does have a few colors in it. The use of the rainbow lands is really nice, and a really kind of special innovation, which is cool. Yeah, that was a cool. That was, you know, double surgical stacks always fun. Killer Bee. Interesting hand. It kind of needs another mana. Like crop the land into Urborg or Yavimaya, so then we have the crop as well. I don't mind that. We get to go like Thespian Stage, Needle, play Lotus, Hold Up, Stifle, which is quite nice. I'm gonna keep this. Mono Black Curses would be a pretty interesting one. They multi 5. I mean, if they're on Reanimator as well, holding up Lotus to turn Thespian Sage into Bajuka Bog isn't too bad either. But I think in the blind, I'm happy just to name Wasteland. Nice having this as well, because if we draw into like an Urborg, I guess Urborg's pretty easy to swamp pass. Okay. I guess another like Elvish Spirit Guide effect does it here as well, or a Petal. Stifle. There is also a world where instead of using the Petal to stifle, I use the Petal to crop the stage into a mana confluence. I think I allow the imprint here. I could stifle this, but I think the card disadvantage is fine. We do have Yavimaya as well, but then we can't cast a second stifle if we want to. Oh, we can combo off. We can combo off, of course. We can trade in the Yavimaya. Sorry, we can float a mana, trade in the stage for Yavimaya, and then have 3 mana, and then use the other green mana to crop into stage, and then use the 2 mana for that. So this is more than fine. Oh, there we do. Jodo May, a big shout out. You got it. So here we will float green and see what they do. I should have seen it. I should have seen it and I didn't. So thank you, chat. Opponent having a good think about what they want to do. It's a very cool line. I'm a big fan of that. Pretty nice. Nice. Very nice. Jodo May. This is an interesting one. And Yavimaya? Yeah. Mono black. I don't think we'll have mono black in here, but it's worth looking. Allurin, Ant, Belcher, Black Red Reanimator, Bug Delver, Bug Control, Burn, Dash Shadow, Depths, DNT, Doomsday, Dredge, Eldrazi Stompy, Eldrazi and Taxes, Eldrazi Post, Elves, Enchantress, Esper Vile, Green Post, Goblins, Grixis Control, Grixis Delver, Hogak, Humans, Infect, Khan, Echo, Lands, Maverick, Miracles, Moon Stompy, Ninjas, Omnitel, Painter, Rug Delver, Sneak and Show, Snoko, Stipropile, Test, Ura Delver, UI Blade, 4-color Loam. I'm going to say it's closer to Khan Echo, perhaps. But it's tough. I like the trophy. I like the Force of Vigors. I don't mind the Collector Oof. Mono Black Curses. Here's one from last year. Ensnaring Bridge is the big one. Chalice, Chrome Mox, Deafening Silence. Yeah, I definitely want something for the Chalices. Yeah, so we definitely want the Forces and that. I don't think we need the Safekeeper though. Hey Spyman, thank you. It was a chat line. I will take no no responsibility for that awesome line. Stifles can most likely come out. And then maybe like the Inquisitions, they're a little bit too slow. The Duresses at least hit Khan. And the other like enchantments. Alright, we have an interesting hand. Turn 1 we can Scrying. Most likely for a Yavimaya. And then we can Scrying again for Dark Depths. It also plays nicely around Chalice a little bit. This can almost do the same thing as last turn, correct? I think the Needle is just a... there is a world where we don't actually go for Sylvan Scrying turn 1. We could just go for the Needle on Karn, which I definitely don't mind. And then next turn we can Scrying. We only really get hit out by like Opposition Agent, but I think Needle Karn here is more than fine. Hey Chandra and Drace. Yeah, really cool to play the deck. I haven't seen anyone playing it recently. A lot of players have been on green, white, and green, black, but obviously the power level of Rainbow is still there, so really nice to see. And it's a pleasure to play as well. It's a really fun deck. Ooh. Okay. Now we can hold up Elder Spirit Guide crop rotation if needed. Ah, we could have rotated. I apologize, chat. I was fixed on chat. But definitely should have rotated there in response. Probably just for Yavimaya. Happy to try to draw into Urborg here. Petal's pretty good. Okay. Interesting. I'm really thinking Opposition Agent. So there's a world where I just want to Lotus Petal here and then Thoughtseize. Because I would hate to Spirit Guide, Lotus Petal, Sylvan Scrying for... Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to get like Urborg and then get blown out. Pithing's on Khan the Great Creator, which we saw last game, but we didn't see Wasteland. Maybe I should have thought about it. And here is the Agent, which is quite nice. So now we can use this. And do I want to? No. We have Trophy as an out for Agent. Rhinestone. Probably rather keep the mana here, but because we know about Mox Diamond in hand. I mean, Thespian Stage to the top does it, which is really nice. Yeah, in 3 turns we can't draw it, and they have a 3-turn clock. For that instance, I think on the play I'm happy to play the Inquisitions. I think Caracas can come out. We have the Trophy. Trophy is the only thing. So drawing a Black Source and Trophy would get us there. I don't think they use their graveyards. I'm going to take out the Bog. Pretty interesting hand. Doesn't play around Wasteland, unfortunately. But having the combo is just quite nice. Leyline. I think it's just the Chalice here. But they do have a turn 2 Khan, which is pretty good as well. Yeah, maybe there's a world where I just don't care about this stuff. Yeah, Khan's just so good in that hand. I hope they play the Swamp, because then we might be able to copy the Swamp with Deathspin Stage. All right. They pitched the Swamp. Damn. At least this turns off the Dark Ritual as well, so it's not too bad. Yeah, that's fine. We know about Ritual and 2 cards. They can't cast Ritual. They're gonna try to. Ah, they might have Ensnaring Bridge, and they're trying to get out of 0 cards. Get down to 0 cards. Yeah, that looks like what it is. I'd probably just make it here. It plays around Wasteland. And we have Not of This World if they try to do anything spicy. It could have also just been a tilt, like drawing Expedition Map, having the Ritual, and just not having stuff to do under the Chalice. I believe last turn they went down to 1 card. But at least we have, like, you know, a few things to get us there, hopefully. Nice. Very cool. Like, we have Assassin's Trophy, we have Force of Vigor. A few nice things. Even, like, I probably wouldn't mind Sylvan Scrying there for a Wasteland, and then take them off the Blast Zone and try to keep them off being able to cast things. But obviously trying to get to 20 cards in hand means that isn't going to work, but yeah. Very nice. All right, I'm just going to go to the bathroom real quick. I'll be back in a second. But in that time, what you can do is sub to my YouTube channel, where I have a ton of content going up. And if you're on Twitter, you can follow me on Twitter. Or you can also check out the greensunzenith.com, which is a website dedicated to Legacy Maverick, where I've actually put up recently a kind of primer on Depths and Maverick for 2022, and kind of where the different lists are at. So enjoy that. I'll be back in a second. What have we played against tonight? Looks like 2 BANT decks. Doomsday. And mono black. Nice. All right. Would be really cool to finish this out on a high, especially for yeah, first game back on Rainbow in a while. I'm gonna say maybe mid last year. It's been a long time since I played Rainbow Depths, but the deck is just chef's kiss. It is a nice deck. And relatively cheap for those wanting to get into Legacy. Rainbow Depths is definitely under $1,000. It might even be under 800. If we quickly look up Tom. Yeah, so this is obviously Negator, who's got a lot of 5-0s with the deck. And if we're looking at these kind of lists, you're looking at like a $600 to $700 deck, which is quite nice. Tabletop, yeah, you know, 866, 880, 86. Really nice to see, because obviously Legacy is a deck with decks where there's thousands of dollars put into it, so it's pretty good. Hey Skis, welcome. I hope you're well. Thanks for the follow. Let me know where you're from. If you play Legacy, what you play in Legacy. Always nice to be 4-0 because like the 4-1 you still get like a bunch of prizes and it just takes the pressure off. Like a trophy is a trophy, but pretty keen to see how this goes. All right, so we have double Inquisition, double Not of This World, 1 piece of the combo, but no green mana. I'm pretty happy to mulligan this. Just a little bit too fair. Okay, well, here we have a pretty good hand. We bottom the step here, and we can go turn 1, Confluence Pass, turn 2, Thespian Stage Pedal. I guess we could also just go for turn 1 Hex Mage and then turn 2 Crop Rotation. How do I want to do this? I think we're just going to go turn 1 Hex Mage and then turn 2 Crop. Hey Stefan, you're welcome. All my videos on YouTube have timestamps, which is, yeah, a little bonus. It allows people to skip through to games they want, and then there's a lot of, yeah, info in the video description. I think we're going to keep this. We do have the stage even if they killed, yeah, Hex Mage. That's very correct. All right, opponent. Oh, Misty Pass? Okay. Volk. Okay, well, we can try. I'm going to crop away the stage here because the Mana Confluence allows us to actually draw cards back into things. Ah, okay. Well, I'm going to assume this is Blue-Red Delver. So, not too much that we can do there. All right, Blue-Red Delver. Blue-Red Delver. Probably the Flusters. Just want to have a quick thought and obviously have a look as well. At Tom's fantastic sideboard guide. To decay to fluster, yeah, okay. Bring Not of This World out, interesting. I'm going to assume they're on Submerge, so let's just have a quick look to see if there's actually blue-red Delver here as well. There is. 1 Reclaimer, 1 Elvish Spirit Guide, 3 Not of This World. Interesting, maybe there's just, yeah, better things to do than Not of This World. I'm going to keep 1 in. I'm going to keep 1 in. We have seen a few lists run Karakas if they're on Jeskai, things like Submerge, Dead Gone. I think I'm pretty happy with this. Stifle's interesting, but Stifle hitting Wasteland is really nice. Yeah. Let's see how this goes. We don't play Forest, that's very true, so I don't have to care about Submerge, correct. That is a nice little upside of the deck. I guess they could hardcast it, so I think if they're getting to that stage, it's going to be pretty tough anyway. Yeah, maybe we just take it out. That's very true. I don't mind taking it out. Yeah. It's a good point. And just one of those things that, like, you know about, but it just doesn't always occur. Look, hand is fine, but it doesn't really have both sides of the combo. It only has crop. I'd probably rather a faster hand. But I mean, it is pretty interesting. I mean, let's look at this. Let's go turn 1 Inquisition with pedal backup, meaning we can play around days, and then we also have pedal for crop rotation if needed. I'm gonna keep this. We're up a game, and I think it's a fine hand. And I think against these Delver decks, I might just want to slow down a little bit, see if they want to be the aggressor. Delver, okay. Gemstone. Let's go Gemstone. Let's play the pedal now. Play around days. And now we get to Inquisition. Okay. They have a Murktide. They have a Wasteland as well. I'm going to take the days so they can't Wasteland us. Well, they can Wasteland us, but we have the crop. Ponder and Brainstormer are very similar. I think I'm pretty happy to get rid of this. But it's a case of what do I want? And I think it might just be Dark Depths, to be fair. Just to have one piece of the combo. It turns on some pretty live draws. I don't want to crop here for mana because I have it, so it's either Thespian Stage or Dark Depths. And because Hexmage and Thespian Stage turn on Dark Depths, I'm pretty happy here to go for that. Maybe they drew blue card. They're gonna Brainstorm, okay. Okay. Thoughtseize would be quite nice as well. That's pretty good. I'm probably okay to play Gemstone Mine. The mana confluence can definitely add up. Another creature would be great here. Ponder Delver. In that case, I'm going to take the Delver. I don't want them playing Delver next turn and really increasing their clock. The Brainstorm most likely set up the Delver as well. But they didn't set it up. Interesting, but they had the Ponder. Wasteland's fine. These Wastelands are keeping them off the... I should have played the Flusterstorm there to hold up the mana confluence, but perhaps I want the Flusterstorm down the line. I think I did. I think I really did want to play mana confluence there into Fluster. Just to try to keep him off, like, maybe the extra land for Murktide. Okay. I mean, now, like, Hexmage and Stage are live draws, which is really nice. Delver flips for Stifle. It's pretty good. But at least we know about it. The interesting thing here is they're not going to cast Murktide because they want to hold up Stifle, which is really fascinating. We get a whole nother turn here, and they kind of get... Okay. We have the Fluster for the Stifle down the line, so... We'll see what they want to do here. Okay. Okay. I think we just go for it here anyway, but then we lose a land. So we go for Thespian Stage here, they stifle the Thespian Stage activated ability, and then we untap and have to draw a land. If we don't draw a land, we're pretty much dead because we're dead to 10 and then the mana confluence, which is very interesting. What do we do, chat? What do we do? We lose the pedal to the Stifle. We untap. We knock top of the deck. I think that's it. We can't really play around this anyway. This is game 2. They have to stifle this. They can't stifle the Dark Depths ability. Yeah. Oh, what? No, opponent. Opponent, this doesn't work. No, opponent. Oh, no. Oh, no, it triggers again, opponent. Surely you know this. Oh, no. Oh my gosh. That's another way to win, is just to make your opponent not have it. Oh. Oh. And like now we can even crop, like they have one card left. Is it Days? We'll see. It is Days. Well, we get to attack anyway. I guess they could have double bolt, but I think that crop there was quite aggressive, to be fair. They chose to shuffle. Do they have another Murktide? They don't. Where was it? Vapor Snag could be real. We get the 5-0. We get the 5-0. Very cool. Very cool. Oh my gosh. sick. That's the word. Very, very cool. Nice. Nice. Look, to be fair, our opponent won't me... No, I definitely don't. When I post anything like that interaction, I always take out the names, 100%. Yeah, definitely don't. I definitely condone public shaming. But yeah, the deck was sweet. That's not the first time that someone has tried to stifle the Dark Depths trigger, and I think it's probably the best way to learn that that isn't the way to stifle Dark Depths, which is nice, which is tough. They were very aggressive with their wastelands. That's true. Maybe they just weren't too familiar with the matchup, which is pretty tough. But I mean, I think we drew Dark Depths, so we wouldn't have been able to go off again with Dark Depths if we didn't get there. So that's pretty awesome. Pretty happy with that. But yeah, I mean that is pretty sweet. Always nice to get the 5-0. And I wouldn't change a thing. I think if anything, I might add another like Assassin's Trophy or Abrupt Decay to the sideboard over the third Fluster. Just to have some more interaction with things like Delver, Ensnaring Bridge, things like that. But otherwise, list was really nice. I was really fun. Yeah, so the right way there is just to buy time. You can't actually like stop the 2020 from coming into play if you try to hit the depths, because what happens is Thespian Stage copies the Dark Depths. We then have two Dark Depths, one with 10 counters, one with no counters. We keep the one with no counters, and then that trigger goes on the stack where it checks the Dark Depths, sees no counters, and goes, hey, let's create a 2020. So if you stifle that, what happens then is state-based actions are checked again. There are no counters there, so it goes, hey, let's create a 2020 again. So you could stifle it all day. It's never going to stop it. So the only thing you can do there is try to stifle the activated ability of Thespian Stage, trying to copy another land and buy a turn. That's how you do it. Nice. That's going to be me. I was going to do another one, but that's going to be it. You can find the deck list if you type in !deck list. It should also be over here, I believe, on Cupboard Live. Nice. Really nice way to end the weekend. That's a really cool one, because we played against some pretty cool decks as well. Played against BANT twice, Doomsday, Mono Black Curses, and Blue Red Delver, so pretty happy with that. Hey, Expedition Map. Too kind. If you do want some good Dark Depths content, definitely check out the Dark Depths podcast with Expedition Map and Billy, two very good hosts who I believe do weekly content, if not fortnightly, but it could be weekly, looking at the legacy and modern metagame. But yeah, as I said, really nice to return to Rainbow Depths and see how it performed, and obviously it did pretty well, which is really nice. Didn't really change too much. We added in a Yava Maya, because I think that's pretty nice. It's like Oborg number 5. And the main deck Caracas was just like a hedge against some of the Ragavan decks. The third Leyline, and a trophy over Abrupt Decay, which I just like because of things like Murktide. And then bigger things like Khan, which we played against in the Mono Black Curses deck. Can hit lands as well, which is relevant. But I'm going to see who else is streaming. A huge thank you to you guys for coming and watching. A big thank you to the new subs, the new followers, especially on YouTube as well. I believe that True Hero is playing some Vintage, which is pretty sweet. So I'm going to send you guys over there. But until then, all the best. Enjoy your weeks ahead. I'll be back soon, probably in a few days. But until then,